Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of It's Bigger Than Business. I'm Manny Larcher. Excited to have our guest today.
Hey, how are you? I'm LaRon Batchelor, and nice to learn more about and be a part of is bigger than business. So yeah, I'm based in New York. I have a company called Passport Food and Beverages. So essentially, I help local, emerging, as well as minority brands as far as retail distribution, helping them find distributors or helping them get on the shelves, whether it's from Whole Foods or your local store. And a part of that, as well as I became a co-founder on the last couple of years of a brand called Coffee Uplifts People. That's the background you're seeing there. That's our cafe. So really one of the few, we'd say, Black-owned, women-owned coffee brands in New York City. We have a cafe in Bed-Stuy on Bedford and Gates Avenue. And our coffee is also available at like Whole Foods, Stop and Shop, and Fairway, as well as a robust online business. So yeah, the coffee was so that's in a nutshell about who I am as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Danny Ortiz isn't able to join us. He's a partner of the podcast, but he loves coffee as well too. So what so tell me a little bit about that. How did you get into the coffee business? How long has Coffee Uplifts People been open?
Well, Coffee Uplifts People's been around for 2 years. But prior
Okay.
to that, because I spent a lot of time like Tate's Cookies or Polar Seltzer, Aqua Hydrate, Sparkling Ice. I spent a lot of time doing distribution and sales in the New York tri-state area, New Jersey. So as a result, the same buyer that's buying cookies or buying milk is also buying coffee. So
Got it.
as about 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing distribution for a coffee brand. And as a result, during COVID, as things have changed, as things would be, I partnered with Angela Yee and Tony Forte, and we thought about the concept of launching a coffee brand, and where I
That
focus on the retail
mhm,
and the grocery.
that's awesome. So that's so tell because we understand the challenges. We help a lot of small business owners. We collaborate and elevate. So you said a few things that kind of stood out as far as connecting them to getting on in Whole Foods and things like that. Can you kind of describe that process, how
Uh,
Passport does that? Um,
oh yeah, I would say first the biggest challenge I think for a lot of us, right? We create a brand. No one's thinking about the profit margin, right? You're not
yep.
thinking about, well, I have a distributor and they're going to carry it and all those sort of things. So my expertise is understanding profit margins, uh, and obviously storytelling, things of that nature. So most people have a product they want to sell, robust business online, but you and I both know that takes a great deal of social media capital, as it were, to
Hmm.
build that. So the other part is everyone wants to be in a grocery store in some form or another. And so one of the ways I built a a track record is I started doing it for other brands, set becoming accountable, and then start presenting brands that were very authentic, great brands that just happened to be minority owned or just happened to be XYZ, right?
Yeah.
That had a
Yeah.
little story, has a little story. And that's how it's happened. So like whether it's Stop and Shop, Key Food, or Target, um, they're all looking for great brands, right? It's about I just happen to have a track record, so I've leveraged my track record to share it with others instead of just having the door open for myself and just closing it. I've something different, and along those lines, just to add to it, so probably like 5 more minutes or so,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
the next weeks or couple weeks or so, Manny, we're launching a company called Caminus Ventures.
Okay.
Caminus, as in like forging, Caminus. The website is caminus.ventures. And
Love
essentially,
it.
that's a Black led accelerator that will be focused on investing in Black food and beverage entrepreneurs in adjacent spaces, whether it's a food tech idea, whether it's a food tech grocery store, whether it's a CPG, whether it's a milk brand, you know, we're going to be investing in that. And those partners include Chef Marcus Samuelson, the acclaimed chef, as well as one of the biggest commercial operators in New York. So all in all, my passion, dude, essentially is trying to figure out a way to be more than just a support system. If I can create a situation where I can empower tomorrow's entrepreneurs, that'd be a great thing for me, whether it be minority, local, or Black owned.
Well, I absolutely love it. I love what you're doing. I'm definitely going to have to stop by Coffee Uplifts people next time I'm visiting New York. I'm in Miami right now. Uh, so this is great stuff, Campus
So
Ventures, and
here's
it's very needed.
Yeah, it is. We literally are just starting that. So like literally you'll be hearing more about that in the coming months. But just to give you a sense it's about passion, and it's like, well, what advice can I give anyone? Well, I think it's 147 billion, Manny, that was invested in terms of venture capital dollars last year.
Wow.
147 billion. But less than 1% went to African Americans.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is less than 2% of the 147 billion went to all minorities, including women. So you say, what's the best advice? Well, you understand you have an uphill battle. So really, right? You know there's no guaranteed venture capital dollars coming your way. So just be forward thinking, have a great deal of willpower, and as best you can, have a plan.
Yes. Yes. No, absolutely. And that's why people like yourself, putting together the processes and the programs, that's just helpful as well. And really just opening the conversation to talk about finances and venture, making that more just, coffee or what's it called? Water cooler talk. I think that's important as well too.
And storytelling, as you probably could, because that's what you're doing, right, Manny? By doing this podcast, you're giving more equity and more value to what you do every day, right? Your tech side, web development, right? So it's like storytelling.
Yeah.
So there's another guy probably does what you do, but he doesn't have this component, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's just the same. So to any person who's launching a brand, don't downplay that. Because there's something about you that's unique, your storytelling, right? You know what I mean? Some people create a product because their kids are or asthmatic or something like that, or autistic. So maybe they wanted to create some holistic products, and they created a brand and they started selling it. So a lot of people's stories can do a lot for the authenticity, credibility of your brand. Whether it's you doing this kind of a podcast video or someone creating a new salt,
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I look at marketing, such a wide, world, and it's about putting yourself out there and learning on the fly. And I think that's, often we get caught up in our own ways and stuck in our own, way to really do a podcast or, post on social media.
To that point, because we have very little time left, but remember this, the best brands out teach, not outsell.
Yeah.
In terms of the ones you really connect with and things of that nature, the best brands out teach, not outsell. Those are the ones we connect with. You can take a plethora of examples, right? You can look at for some reason, Nike comes into my mind when they're embracing Colin Patrick, during that whole process, right?
Yes.
That was a teaching moment, right? Or, so that's not about sales because people wanted them to lose. So there's so many ideas we could think of. It's about the best brands out teach, whether it's, essential water, right? Or, think about it. There's a plethora of brands that out teach everyone else. Apple, out teach everyone else. So it's like, Liquid Death. I mean, it's just, that's that water brand, it's like, that's more interesting, but you get my point,
Absolutely.
So to anyone's listening, it's like, hey, so that's back to your story and being unique. So out teach, because that's the thing that connects us to people versus that brand is trying to sell to us. We're all trying to sell, but out teach, connect, elevate me, uplift me.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, brother. Thank you for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to end it on that note, and appreciate your time. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and connect with LaRon on all platforms. We'll share the link.
Hey, best of luck
Have
to
a
you,
great
man.
day.
Enjoy Miami, brother.
Take care.